each individual in the power play, and I think it's got a major impact on the collective performance as a group.
Does Matheson's game at all remind you of Dan Boyle?
Well, not really. You know, Mike was a way better skater than Dan. You know, I think Dan couldn't use his feet the way Mike did. Dan had to do it differently, but they're both, you know, elite player in this league.
With Arber, do you think the week break might have come at a good time for him with what he's gone through this season? And second part, what do you want to see from him over these finals?
Yeah, I mean, I think a break for him at that time was probably good. What do I want to see? It's just, you know, consistency. And, you know, I think any young players is we know that, you know, we like the potential ceiling that we see for Arber. I think it's keep raising the floor, and the floor to me, it's just consistency.
Is consistency at the top of the list?
I think it's the top of the list for every young player.
As far as his actual game, is there one specific part that?
I wouldn't say it's one specific part. You know, there's obviously he's a defenseman. You know, he's got to defend. You know, and it's not. You know, he plays a hard game. He's played a physical game. It's part of it. He's got to do that. He's got to have an active stick, you know, and I think he's improved in that department. You know, it's consistent. You know, it's finding that consistency game in, game out, shift in, you know, like throughout a shift, finishing a shift and stuff. And it's not an easy position to play for a young player in this league. And you know, we're, like I said, most, you know, the young players, it's just you're chasing consistency.
Tu parlais un petit peu de Slafkovsky tout à l'heure, Martin. Est-ce qu'aujourd'hui, vous félicitez de l'avoir gardé avec vous autres, même quand, à un moment donné, c'était difficile pour lui de faire une différence sur la patinoire, versus ce que tu vois aujourd'hui, lui? Là?
Non. On se félicite pas.
Est-ce que c'était la bonne décision quand tu vois ce qui arrive aujourd'hui avec lui? Si je peux formuler différemment.
Ouais. C'est facile de regarder en arrière, là, puis tu vois la progression, puis dire on a fait une bonne job, mais si on l'aurait descendu l'année passée, peut-être qu'on aurait la même progression. Fait que regarder en arrière, pour moi, ça veut rien dire.
Arben et Eric. Let's go back to Arber and what you mentioned, him playing hard and physical, and I think and the penalties he's been taking. You know, you mentioned when Gallagher made that hit on Pellick, how he plays on a line, and it's hard to play on that line and not pass it. When you're a young player who plays on that line, who has all these other concerns going on about his defensive game, what have you, how do you ensure that he's able to stay on that line because he's most effective on that line, that he doesn't cross it?
I don't know, it's everything. It's his practice habits. It's watching video about his game, having discussion. You know, being fair with him. You know, being truthful. There's not one way to do it.
I guess I didn't ask that properly. Is there any concern when a player is thinking about the line and not crossing it, and that he goes too far away from it, when that's when he's most effective?
Yeah, I mean, it's like an offensive player who his whole life he's made plays, he wants to make plays, and he turns puck over. He turns, you know, he's turning pucks over. You know, is it because you allow that just because an offensive player? Like, to me, it's like, okay, like what was on the other side of that? You know, were the intentions in the right place based on the read that he made? You know, and he just didn't execute, but it was a good read. So to me, it's like the intentions. You know, so if he had good intentions and it didn't work out, you know, I think you have to be careful of telling him you can't do that, because then it was a great read, just didn't execute. So I think on the defensive side and being physical, it's part of that too. Like, you know, you're gonna have great intentions sometime, and it's just not gonna work out. But you got to be careful how you coach the intentions, because then you're making your players second guess all the time.
Two quick ones about Slafkovsky. Just the first one being, You talked a lot about kind of finding it funny when players would work on one-timers and shots when they never put themselves in positions to take them in games. Slaf is obviously focusing a lot more on his shot now. Is there a direct correlation, you think, because he's put himself more in those positions where he can really take them?
Yeah, I think all year I feel like he's had opportunity to shoot the puck, and I think it's really makes sense why he's working on it a lot, because he has those opportunities, especially on the power play too, right? Like he's in the spot where he can shoot it, and we're trying to find him more and more. It comes at a good time when he's working on that, just because, if he wasn't getting all these touches in good spots, and you go on the ice and just work on your shot, well, there's probably a few steps before you need to work on, before you focus on that.
Maybe it's just an assumption on my part, but I feel like any player that makes it to the NHL wants to continuously get better, but maybe there's a varying scale of how much players want to get better. Where do you think Slaf classifies on that scale of how badly he wants to improve?
I don't know. We're going to find out, right? He's 19 years old.
So
So far, it's been great, but he's so young, but I can see him being a guy that keeps wanting to get better, but, you just hope they keep that focus and that hunger, and, I think he's in an environment where we encourage that and we facilitate that. So I think that is probably going to help drive players like Slaf to use all the resources and the environment he's in to keep it getting better. But he's a young player that's progressed tremendously well, and it all starts with him. Doesn't matter what we want to do with him. It starts with him and his attitude, his engagement. And it's been pretty impressive.
Salut Martin. Juste pour revenir un peu sur Arber Xhekaj, si tu pouvais nous parler de ce que tu as vu comme progression depuis son retour, si tu es capable d'identifier certains éléments que tu as vu grandir dans son jeu, puis en même temps, côté coaching, est-ce que c'est important de le laisser jouer sans avoir la crainte de faire des erreurs?
Mais, tu sais, moi, je le dis tout le temps, faisant des erreurs, arrête de faire la même. Tu sais, fait qu'il faut t'apprendre de tes erreurs un petit peu, là, tu sais. Fait que, non, à côté, là, tu sais, il y a eu du bon temps à Laval. Là. Je l'ai vu jouer à Laval. Puis là, c'est je pense qu'il y a besoin encore plus de répétitions à ce niveau-ci pour vraiment, tu sais, la game est plus vite, les jeux t'as moins de temps, t'as moins d'espace, mais à chaque game, je trouve qu'il fait quelque chose, puis c'est encourageant. Fait que puis on serait delusional, comment tu dis ça? Désillusionné. Ouais, c'est un mot ça en français? Je l'utilise pas beaucoup en français, je trouve. Si on penserait qu'il serait sur la glace puis il ne ferait pas d'erreur. Le hockey, c'est une game d'erreur. Mais il faut t'apprendre de pas faire la même tout le temps. Fait que je pense qu'il est engagé, il veut apprendre, puis tout, puis il a une bonne attitude.
Dans le contexte où vous êtes, évidemment, la production la production secondaire en attaque est importante. On parle beaucoup du premier trio, mais là, lors du dernier match, vous avez eu un but de Michael Pezzetta sur une passe d'Harvey-Pinard, puis ça m'amène à Raphaël. L'an passé, il y a eu des belles opportunités, puis il a été capable de produire. Les chiffres sont peut-être un peu moins là cette année, mais dans ce que tu vois, est-ce que ça t'encourage qu'il est capable de saisir une opportunité où il produirait davantage pour la dernière portion de la saison?
Bien, je pense qu'il n'y a pas la même chaise l'année passée, mais il est aussi productif sur la glace, je te dirais. Puis on ne mesure pas ça avec les statistiques offensives. Moi, je mesure ça avec ses actions positives qui impactent un chiffre offensivement ou défensivement. Fait que non, moi je sais les chiffres, peut-être dis pas toutes sur comment KHP joue, mais il a manqué du temps, mais je trouve que dernièrement, là, il est revenu comme le joueur qu'on connaît.
Merci.
Deux dernières questions, Anthony et Dave, terminé.
Salut Martin. En complément peut-être un peu à la question d'Éric, je te demandais c'était quoi la prochaine étape selon toi dans le jeu de Slafkovsky. Tu me disais de continuer à progresser. 24 heures plus tard, il marque 2 buts de shooter contre Washington. Il attaque l'enclave, une sorte de réception. Est-ce que ça serait pas ça, justement, la prochaine étape de voir Slafkovsky répéter ce qu'il faisait à son année pré-repêchage, c'est-à-dire marquer des buts en voulant, en n'étant pas nécessairement collé sur le but, des buts de tirant?
Ben, c'est sûr, là, tu me fais réfléchir peut-être à ma réponse qui n'était pas peut-être aussi bonne que tu aurais aimé, mais non, mais tu sais, peut-être que. Ouais, c'est ça. Non, mais je te dirais, là, parce que moi, je trouve qu'il y a beaucoup de matchs cette année que Slav, il a joué extraordinaire, puis il n'y a pas eu une production, mettons. Puis moi, quand je regarde ça, ses actions sur la glace, je me dis, dans pas longtemps, ou je veux pas dire dans 2 ans ou dans 2 semaines, là, mais je dis, ça sera pas long que cette game-là, ça va être une game de 2-3 points. Tu sais, puis c'est quand, je sais pas. Puis là, je sais, il vient d'avoir 2 buts, mais on va-tu penser que là, il va scorer 2 buts par game? C'est pas ça, là. Mais je pense que la prochaine étape pour Slav, que je te dirais, que ça soit dans 2 semaines, dans 1 an, tout ça, c'est la finition. Parce qu'il y a beaucoup de touches en dedans. Il est fatigant, l'entour du net, il y a beaucoup de touches, c'est peut-être sa finition, puis il travaille là-dessus.
Josh Anderson avait une séquence difficile en début d'année. Là, il est au cœur d'une autre séquence un petit peu plus laborieuse. Je pense que c'est un but assez haut dans les matchs. Comment t'expliques ça? Puis qu'est-ce que tu penses qu'il pourrait faire de différent pour s'en sortir? Parce que tu parlais de qualité qui peut remplacer
Ouais, non, mais je pense qu'il a manqué du temps aussi, il s'est blessé. Fait que tu repars un petit peu. La ligue n'est pas facile quand tu perds du temps. Donc, j'aime comment il joue. Je suis pas inquiète, il va marquer encore des buts.
Martin, Brandon Gignac a disputé son premier match dans la NHL depuis très longtemps. Je veux juste savoir ce que tu as pensé de ce qu'il a amené, de qu'est-ce que tu peux voir qu'il pourrait faire dans les prochains matchs.
Ben, il a amené exactement ce que je pensais qu'elle allait amener. La vitesse, la combativité. Puis c'est un premier match. Moi, je m'attends qu'il va être de plus en plus confortable plus qu'il joue.
Merci, Martin.
Merci.
have a feeling that you might be playing the way you're hoping to be playing in the NHL?
Well, for sure it's on a good way, and yeah, I just still need to improve a lot, and doesn't matter about the points, and it matters about the overall game, and yeah, need to bring that up for sure.
What do you feel are the elements that made you improve lately? And even though you're playing good games and not always getting rewarded, now you're getting 2 goals, you're getting more touches, you're getting more confident. What do you feel is the main thing that got you there?
I mean, it's just the work every day, like putting in the extra work, and then obviously watching a lot of hockey, and just trying to figure out the ways how to do things on the ice, and that's just pretty much it.
What kind of advice do you get from the outside, knowing that the coaches or players that can give you indications of maybe some tendencies of the opponents also? Not really?
Nah, that's a hard question. I don't know how to, yeah.
Okay.
Do you think that the experience start to pay for you?
Sorry?
Do you think the experience start to pay?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, playing against better players, like you kind of know what to expect from who a little more, and yeah, for sure. I mean, it's still just not even 90 games, so still a lot to learn. But for sure, it's better than, for example, game 10.
But how do you feel? Look, I know you were injured last season, but how do you feel in your progression? How do you feel this season as compared to a year ago?
Oh, so much better. Like just being on the ice, like finding those spots where to be, and then getting all the touches. Just I feel like my game grows so much from like for example last year, and I'm happy about it that it's going pretty fast, and yeah, I just want to keep getting better because I still feel like there is lots of room to grow.
We saw you working on your shot this morning. To what extent do you feel it's making a difference for you? Just confidence-wise, being able to take that shot.
Yeah, for sure, and also it's just about getting those reps in. Like if you shoot the extra 100 pucks or 150 pucks, it can only help. And yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, and it's nice that I have a great opportunity here to work with so many great coaches, and yeah, like I said, it's just getting those reps in and trying to shoot as much then in a game too.
Are you making a conscious effort to try to shoot more? There was a thought maybe earlier this season that you would pass instead of shoot.
Yeah, probably I would earlier this season, but now when everyone around me is screaming at me to shoot, then yeah, obviously at some point I have to start shoot. So yeah, for sure I'm trying to shoot more, just make it more natural and think shoot first, and then maybe pass if the shot is not there.
Do you feel more confident? Is that why you're shooting more, or just because people are telling you to do so?
Not really. I mean, it's just because I'm in the right spot, and if I have a place to shoot, then obviously I'm just trying to shoot. And for sure, the confidence is part of it, but I wouldn't say it's only that.
You've been saying that you're an important piece of this team now. You're part of the group after a year, more than a year now. Is it way easier to not just playing for other players, but playing for you too on the ice when you decide to shoot or pass? You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure, and that's also what other guys were telling me. It's not always look to find someone I don't know, Cole or Susie, and it's also be a little more selfish because that's what they do also when they have a chance to shoot. They also shoot, and but you gotta of course find a balance between when you decide to do what. But yeah, I mean, trying to shoot more and trying to be a little more selfish, but not that I'm not gonna pass it and never now.
You're right.
Thanks, Juraj.
The fact that playing with Cole Caufield, shooter.
Ça fait le pointage à tous les soirs, c'est trouver une manière de se rentrer dans le match puis de faire la différence aussi. Là.
Est-ce que tu vis bien avec ça? L'année passée, on te voyait marquer beaucoup, on te voyait avoir plus de chiffres au tableau. Est-ce que pour toi, c'est quelque chose que tu prendrais une fierté d'en avoir plus, évidemment, puis d'être capable de contribuer davantage?
Ben, c'est sûr, certain, tu veux tout le temps être le maximum sur la feuille de pointage, compter des buts, c'est sûr, c'est tout le temps le fun, mais en même temps, oui, je voudrais compter plus de buts, je voudrais créer plus d'offensives. D'un autre côté, je pense que c'est de continuer à travailler, ça va venir, on a des chances de compter, mais c'est de trouver peut-être une manière d'aller chercher encore plus de chances de compter, tout en se concentrant sur tout ce qui est talentueux aussi. Là.
As-tu été capable de mettre ça derrière toi, le fait que tu as perdu du temps à cause d'une blessure? Ça a été difficile peut-être de retrouver ton beat. Est-ce que tu sens que tu l'as bien retrouvé? Oui,
ça a pris quelques matchs, mais je pense de plus en plus. Je pense que le break aussi a fait du bien, autant physiquement que mentalement, juste de relaxer, changer les idées. Puis je pense que je me sens bien dans mon corps, puis je suis prêt à jouer du hockey. Là.
Quand justement il y a une blessure comme ça qui arrive, puis que tu es un joueur qui venait faire sa première saison complète, y a-tu le hamster qui roule? Fuck, je vais perdre ma place? Ou es-tu capable de ne pas l'avoir, le hamster?
Ben, c'est sûr, tu essaies de pas trop penser à ça, honnêtement. Oui, tu y penses un petit peu, surtout quand tu t'es blessé longtemps. Puis c'était une situation qui ne m'était pas arrivée nécessairement aussi. La dernière fois que je m'étais blessé depuis autant longtemps, c'était dans le junior majeur à ma première année. Donc, c'était pas une situation que j'étais familier avec ça, mais j'ai appris de ça cette année. Puis, si jamais ça m'arrive, je suis à la tête que ça réarrive pas, mais je vais savoir mieux comment gérer ça, puis mieux me préparer. Là.
Je pense que tu as parlé, Pat, de production offensive, mais tantôt, Martin me disait que ta valeur au sein de l'équipe ne change pas, même si les chiffres sont pas aussi impressionnants que l'an dernier. Est-ce que dans un certain sens, c'est rassurant que le coach continue de croire en toi et à ce que tu peux amener à l'équipe sans que ce soit juste des buts, des passes?
Oui, c'est sûr, certain. Puis, tu sais, je suis conscient que mon rôle n'est peut-être pas nécessairement le même que l'année passée. L'année passée, j'avais du temps de jeu, peut-être sa première unité d'avantage numérique, sa première ligne aussi. Ça, c'est plus propice à compter plus de buts, plus sur la feuille de pointage. Mais cette année, c'est un rôle différent. Mais encore une fois, je le répète souvent, mais le rôle d'aller défendre dans des avantages numériques, pour moi, c'est gratifiant. Puis c'est quelque chose que j'aime aussi. Puis d'entendre ce mot de confiance-là du coach, ça fait du bien.
Sens-tu quand même que tu as un certain feu vert pour y aller?
Pour y aller.
Pour aller attaquer. Est-ce que aussi le rôle de cette année fait que, je dirais pas que tu t'empêches, mais que tu vas être plus prudent?
Je pense que oui, j'ai le feu vert d'y aller. En même temps, je pense que c'est peut-être naturellement, tu veux t'assurer de ne pas faire d'erreur en faisant peut-être en ayant un peu moins de temps de jeu. Mais ça, je pense que ça part avec la confiance aussi. C'est graduellement, dans les entraînements, faire de plus en plus de jeux, garder la rondelle un peu plus longtemps, faire des jeux comme ça pour justement que ça se transmette dans la game après, puis créer plus d'offensive.
Tu es un joueur assez complet à la base. Ça a pas te demandé un gros effort de développer l'aspect défensif de ta game?
En fait, je pense que depuis mon hockey mineur, je suis un gars qui adore jouer dans sa zone aussi. J'aime ça défendre, j'aime ça bloquer des lancers. Puis ça a toujours été partie de mon identité de jouer sur 200 pieds. Puis ça n'a pas été un ajustement pour moi, honnêtement. C'est juste peut-être d'y encore d'y penser un peu plus puis d'être encore plus efficace dans sa zone.
Merci.
Arber, you were saying you got a chance to watch your brother play. When was the last time you had seen him play?
I can't even remember. I don't think I went to one game the year before, so I think maybe when he was playing in Junior B was the last time I got to see him. So big improvements, man, for him.
What advice did you give him, Lenny?
Nothing really. I'm kind of letting him do his thing this year, and he's playing well, so I don't need to be on him too much. Just here and there, I tell him certain things, and just to be the player that he is. I mean, like, obviously when you start getting points, you might like lay back a little bit on the physical aspect, but I'm like, just be yourself and play your game.
Where did you notice his biggest improvement?
Just everything, man. He's pretty much my height now. Like, I haven't seen him in a little bit. He keeps growing on me, so this summer the battles are going to be pretty good between us.
Arber, I'm sorry, just coming in the second wave, but we talked to Marty earlier, and he said that he encourages his players to play without doubting themselves or without being scared of making a mistake. Do you feel that the time you spent in Laval and now coming back allows you to be able to play with a free mind and be able to play without being scared of making these mistakes?
Yeah, I think even without it, I think it was always pretty easy to just be yourself and play your game. I mean, obviously you get held to more accountability this year because it's your second year, but since we have a really young group, it helps a lot.
To what extent do you feel things improved for you coming back after a few games now and, you know, being able to have these reps up here? Do you feel it made a difference for you and you feel more confident?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was definitely good to play 20-plus minutes every game and be kind of the go-to guy down there and playing a lot of minutes, playing with Mayu too. So, I mean, just to get the touches back after sitting out for a while, and I think it definitely helped the confidence.
Thanks. Thank you, Arber.
Loves getting better, and I think he does it every day consistently and comes to rink with a good mood, and he's got all the resources in the world around him. So he's in a good spot right now, and he wants to get better, so that's good.
Juraj just told us about the fact that you're good friends outside the ice. Can you extend a little bit about the relationship you have with him?
I mean, like, I don't feel like he's younger than me just because you look at him and he's huge, but he somehow feels like a little brother, someone that I can go to help, and we talk about a lot of things. He's got really good questions, and I'm always eager to learn. So it's definitely fun to be around, and he's helping our team a lot.
Who was the better shot between
me?
you?
I'm still working on this.
Thank you.
How long it take for a young player like Slav to decide when it's time to go for him to shoot? Not playing necessarily for you and Nick. How long it takes to have this confidence, do you think?
I don't think you can put a time on that. I think it's all about making reads out there, and sometimes maybe getting too cute with things, but he's going to figure it out. He has recently, and the more we talk and play with each other, I think it's going to get easier.
And for you, was it how long did you take to have this confidence on your own game when you look back?
It's a weird league where it kind of varies throughout the year. I think you can feel good for a couple games, then kind of rethink yourself. But it's a league of confidence, and I think no matter where your confidence is at, you always got to have some and trust your game a little bit. So I think it comes down to that, and he's working on that right now. But for sure, he's feeling good right now.
You just said he has a lot of questions. How can you describe the level of appetite he has to improve and get better each and every day?
He's starving.
Yeah.
That's what I think he is. He's always looking to get better, staying out late. But for sure, he just has that work ethic. He wants to come to the rink every day and push the team. And I think that's probably his best attribute.
With a young group, you guys are still young, but to see a young player coming in like this and be that hungry, how much can it help? How much can it help push everyone up?
Yeah, I think it raises our floor, and I think that's where it starts. Our floor's got to be good, and I think with everybody pulling in the same direction, pulling the same rope, we'll get to that destination a little bit faster.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Merci, Cole.
Yep.